So this is pretty much a summary of Gone by Michael Grant in under 5 minutes. We start the story in a school in the fictional town of Perdido Beach, California, when suddenly the history teacher disappears. The protagonist Sam Temple notices, and so does other students. Then a girl named Astrid realizes that everyone 15 and over are gone. In a panic, the students try calling 911 and view TV stations, but nothing works. Next, Sam, Astrid, and Quinn, who's Sam's best friend, decide to visit their houses together. They arrive at Quinn's first, but his parents aren't there. At Astrid's house, her parents are gone, and so is her 4-year-old brother named Little Pete, although Astrid thinks he's at the power plant where her father had been working. The final stop is Sam's house, but his mom, who's his only family member, is missing. The trio then traveled to Clifftop Hotel to possibly find Little Pete. On their way, they encounter a barrier that goes miles high, so they have to take another path. They arrive and end up spending most of the night searching for Little Pete. Here, Sam tells Astrid that his 15th birthday is only 12 days away, although they aren't sure if people turning 15 disappear. The next day, the trio meet a kid named Adelio. They explain their situation and he agrees to drive them to the power plant. On their way, they start seeing weird animal mutations like seagulls with talons and snakes with wings. They arrive at the power plant and find Little Pete in the control room, though after the journey, the five decide to stay the night. The next morning, Sam finds out that he has been mutated. He can shoot green lights from his hands that burn through anything. The five return to Perdido Beach, now nicknamed the Fallout Alley Youth Zone, also known as the Phase. They arrive to see Kane, a boy from a school for troubled kids called Coates Academy, give an inspiring speech to the Phase kids. He's elected leader, although Sam and Astrid are skeptical. Kane divvies up responsibilities, and Sam's elected fire chief. Then the groups go separate ways. After everyone leaves, Kane reveals his intentions of ruling the Phase with his sidekick named Diana. Sam then gets to work by going house to house looking for stoves left on or heated fireplaces. On his way back to the fire station, he comes across twins, Anna and Emma. It's their 15th birthday today. In a panic, Sam told them of their possibility of disappearing. And at that moment, Emma disappears. Anna, born 6 minutes later, disappears as well. This confirms Sam only has 5 days left, and Drake, who's Kane's bodyguard, sees this and reports back. Kane then finds Sam's birth certificate and sees that Sam's born on the same day as him, 3 minutes apart, which can only mean that they're fraternal twins. Meanwhile, Sam decides to clear his mind and get groceries with Astrid and Little Pete, but they encounter Coates Academy kids who capture them and take them to Kane. To Sam's surprise, Quinn was there helping the Coates kids as well. Astrid and Little Pete are locked away, and Sam meets Kane face to face. Here we find out Kane's ability is to move objects with his mind. Sam and Kane exchange harsh words, and it ends with Kane flinging Sam across the gym. At that moment, Drake runs in and tells Kane that Astrid had suddenly disappeared with Little Pete. Kane tells Drake to find and kill the two. Astrid is now in a room with Little Pete, who has been mutated with the ability to teleport. She decides to travel back to Clifftop Hotel to meet with Sam. Back at the school, Quinn helps Sam escape, regretting what he did to his best friend. They find Adelio at the firehouse and travel to Clifftop in the hopes to meet Astrid. Meanwhile, Drake is getting armed to find the two. He spots Astrid and Little Pete running to the hotel, and Drake takes a shortcut to get there. Drake ends up arriving first, finding Astrid on the suite floor. In a panic, she ran into a suite and swung under a balcony with Little Pete, right before Drake arrived inside. He cursed, thinking they teleported again, but at that moment, Little Pete made a groaning noise. Smiling, Drake steadied his gun over the railing, but Sam is there to save the day, pushing him off the balcony. The five regroup and decide to break away from civilization, traveling as far away as possible by motorboat. But an injured Drake and Kane's men finally succeed in finding the five and bring them to Kane. They get their hands put in cement so they can't move, but Little Pete uses his power to make every block disappear. Kane and Diana run, but Drake gets his arm burned off by Sam's laser power. They all escape and decide to return to the Phase. Finally, people are preparing for the long-awaited Sam vs. Kane final battle. Kane strikes first, sending Drake to keep the children at the daycare hostage, although Sam and Quinn arrive on scene and are able to take back the daycare quickly. After that, Sam and Kane meet for their 1v1 battle to the death. Kane threw rocks and brought down buildings, but Sam with his laser hands were able to overcome his efforts. At that moment, Sam and Kane hit their birthday. Time stopped and Sam's mother appeared. She persuaded Sam to come with her, but he refused to leave with unfinished business. Time unfroze, and instead of killing Cain, he spared his life and told him to leave and never return. And the book finishes with a happy ending, with a Thanksgiving feast in the phase.